Hey, yo, we're going to do it like this. This is how we checking in. We're going to check in. I'm going to drop this seed. I'm going to drop this seed at this point of the earth. We're going to see if the earth take it or not. It's up to the earth. It's up to y'all. But this is going to be a nice little seed, though, because it's really going to lead into a whole different type of series, where it's pretty much how I emphasized previously, time is timeless. It absolutely is. Let me give you a full explanation. Let me go in a little bit better. And we're going to use compliments. Like, okay. First, let me give you this example. If you have that understanding that each auric sphere around you is a dimension, not around you, but each auric sphere within your body, each gland within your body is a dimension. What do I mean by that? Today is the day of love. So that's interacting particularly with your heart dimension. All right? Your heart has a complement dimension. We believe it's the root. And that's why the whole purpose of me going into, when I was doing the tarot finding with the cardinal to the fixed to the mutable, you see where Jesus is represented as the fish, or don't Jesus sit within the heart level? And on a low level, don't they call Capricorn the devil? So with them, what do they call them? I just said it too, complementing each other, right? So if today is the day of the heart, you should still get your root in order. All right, so understand you can travel between dimensions. This is why I say I've been really messing with polarity and rhythm. All right, think of it like if you're in the gym, and think of if you're doing a stress or tension reflex exercises. People want to do either a heavy amount, short sets. You can injure yourself like that, by the way, but heavy amount, short sets to bulk up quick. Or, of course, people will do an opposition of that, a flip side of the polarity. Small weight, heavy reps between however many sets you decide. You know what I mean? That'll give you equivalent, or if not a more granular result, because I believe that also works your musculature a little bit more than just bulking up quickly. But what I'm saying is, if you ever do tension or Smith machine exercises that's based off of tension, back tension, you can balance out adding weight and lowering weight based off of the motion of your flow, pretty much. So think of it like rhythm. So if you typically want to go all the way up and you count that as a set or a rep, if you recognize that you get a lot of tension right there, not too much stress, but if you get a lot of tension at a midpoint, balance that as your rhythm. And that's your new rhythm from time to time. You don't want to overstress the position, but find new ones. Think of your chakra systems like that. Think of your glands like that. So if we're supposed to accentuate, what this supposed to be emphasize the heart. Understand that the complement is the root. Now, if we're at the root, understand the root itself has a pole or polarity, okay? You could take those energies, and this is where Napoleon Hill, this was huge when Napoleon Hill was talking about in this chapter of transmutation. You could take the energies from the root on a great day like this day of love on Friday. You get where I'm getting at? Or you can transmute those energies of the root, and you can balance out your rhythm on that polarity. And instead, you can go into a question such as, what's the next way or the best way you can purchase or make your next real estate purchase? And I asked AI about this, all right? I got a few trust books, but I got to go deeper into depth. But I asked AI about this. Follow where I'm going, because today is the day of the heart. Complementary is the root. We're working on rhythm with the root. We're not just working on because it's the day of the heart, now I'm down on the root. Now let's see what love doing outside. No, we ain't doing that. This is what I'm talking about. And even in regards to when you come up, you're going to come back down, but you can change the rhythm of your polarity. Let's go into doing so. All right, so I say, if so, no. Can a person trust business entity purchase a home as a trust or business and move in as a tenant under their personal identity? If so, can you outline the pros and cons, if any, to purchasing a home through the bank-regulated process as a personal loan, aligning with the principles of correspondence, polarity, and rhythm? If possible, is there a way to outline the dynamics like Rich Dad, Poor Dad, like Kiyosaki would? All right. The reason being is because, and this is what I was saying, it is not heresy if you understand cosmology, astronomy, and astrology. So when the brother said you need to use them lower arcanic energies, absolute, and it is a wealth frequency, but it's still a root. But it's balancing the polarity, the rhythm that you don't crash down on Earth. You got to start from zero. But if you got your parachute, you can at least get into your property. You know what I mean? You at least got your legs. You don't got to pay no medical bills. So it go like that. So let's go back in. So let's say, let's shift the trajectory exactly the way you asked. My apologies about the glare, y'all. It's a beautiful day. I'm so grateful. Clean, grounded, and aligned with both practical reality and the hermetic architecture you work within. Below is a fully integrated explanation, the legal practical side, the pros and cons of buying personally versus through an entity, the hermetic interpretation through correspondence, polarity, and rhythm, and a Rich Dad, Poor Dad style breakdown. So can a person trust business, buy a home, then live in it as a tenant under their personal identity? Yes, absolutely. This is legal, common, and increasingly used by high net worth individuals. This is why I'm saying in that regards to the pole of even your root. We can operate as a consensus, what they would like to say. Everybody says people are black sheeps out here. I mean, people are sheeps out here and you the black sheep, or, you know what I'm saying? My apologies for mixing that up, but you get what I'm saying. When you have that consensus, understand that the sheep, the majority of them, they're doing the majority of purchasing, and even in that way, even your root can have a polarity. So even your root, somebody can be spiritually a black sheep, spiritually outlined, physically a sheep. This is the whole point of why I align. Somebody can be physically a black sheep, like on the financial aspect. Somebody can have all the money, but somebody can be spiritually lacking to where eventually it's all going to dissipate if there's no balance. And likewise, if somebody is spiritually astute but financially replete or deplete, their balance won't be met. There is going to be a dysfunction somewhere. It has to be met. So that's where you can locate the polarity. I'm going to say, that's where you need to fix your rhythm in that area, in that gland. For the root, might be that way of thinking. Everybody's out here thinking about purchasing things directly under their social, using that direct man. I'm not going to be that one guy on this soapbox preaching that, but this question I'm posing gives you an alternate method of purchasing, to where you're doing so through an entity, a vehicle, if you will, outside, and then you're operating within that vehicle purchase for protection. Check it. Trust can buy a home. Trusts are widely used for privacy, estate planning, avoiding probate, very important. Asset protection, very important. You can live in a home as trustee, beneficiary, or tenant. This is normal and fully compliant. LLCs, business entities, I don't know where that C's came from, but business entities can buy a home. Oh man, it's healthy as hell to laugh at yourself. Y'all ninjas, that's too hard. Y'all better start laughing at yourselves. No, but LLCs are used for liability protection, privacy, separation of personal versus property assets. You can lease the home from your LLC and live in it. This is a rising trend among wealthy buyers. Living in the property under your personal identity. This is the standard way to do it. You sign a lease with the trust/LLC, pay rent or imputed rent, live there as a normal tenant. See, sign a lease with the trust/LLC. Again, whose trust the LLC is it? Because we all know the bank, they can't represent, so they can't be a creditor. I'm just gonna leave it at that. I'm not legal. I'm not, but just leave it. Do your research. Sign a lease with the trust LLC, pay rent or imputed rent, live there as a normal tenant. This is legal as long as there is no deception of lenders. Why? Because the bank can't be a lender, so there should be no deception of lenders. The entity structure is disclosed when required. Insurance is properly structured. What you cannot do, use a straw name to hide your identity from lenders, insurers, government agencies that crosses into deceptive territory. Pros and cons of buying personally versus through a trust/LLC. Pros of buying personally: traditional mortgage, lower interest rates, simplest underwriting, qualifies for primary residence tax benefits, easy insurance setup. Cons: zero privacy, your name is on public record, personal liability exposure, harder to separate personal asset structures, no asset layering or anonymity. Buying through a trust. Privacy, well, pros and cons. The pros are privacy. Your name is not on title. Smooth estate planning. Avoids probate. You can still live there. And the cons, some lenders require personal guarantee. Slightly more complex paperwork. Must maintain trust properly. Insurance must be structured correctly. Buying through an LLC. Pros and cons. The pros we have are strong liability protection, privacy, LLC, name on title, separation of personal and property assets, popular among wealthy buyers. Cons are many lenders won't issue a primary residence mortgage to an LLC, may require commercial loan, higher rates, must maintain corporate formalities. The insurance must match entity ownership. So there is an interpretation between correspondence, polarity, and rhythm, and it is as so with each level, each layer has its own polarity. With its own polarity, it's going to have its own rhythm and its own correspondence, as I just stated. Each point in you is a dimension. It's absolutely timeless. We're going to give you one example so it can process from AI's point, but each point in you is a dimension. Why? Is because there is a possible polarity question when you hit that dimension, such as here in love. Are you going to go on and chase your purpose, or are you going to chase love as your purpose? Are you going to chase your purpose as love? Are you going to love your purpose, or are you